I begged my husband to stop making our kids breakfast. My husband Nolan makes pancakes for our boys every single morning. From scratch flour, eggs, milk, the whole thing. He's done it since our oldest was 2. The boys worship him for it. They call them daddy cakes. It's their whole morning ritual. I loved it too. For years, it was my favorite thing about our family. But 6 months ago, we moved into an older house in this neighborhood. With character, original hardwood, original fixtures, original everything. And the water started tasting different. Not terrible, just metallic, like sucking on a penny. I mentioned it to Nolan. He took a sip from the tap and shrugged. Tastes fine to me. Old pipes, gives it minerals. I started buying bottled water for drinking, but Nolan kept using the tap for cooking. The pancakes, pasta, everything. You're not seriously going to cook with bottled water, he said. That's insane. I told him something felt wrong with the water. He said I'd been reading too many mommy blogs. Then our youngest, Caleb, started getting stomach aches. Not every day, but 3, sometimes 4 mornings a week. I took him to the pediatrician. She said it was probably dietary, maybe lactose sensitivity, maybe stress from the move. Nolan agreed. Kids get stomach aches. That's what kids do. Then our older boy, Theo, started having trouble in school. His teacher emailed saying he couldn't focus. He was irritable. He'd cry over nothing, which wasn't like him at all. Nolan said it was adjusting to the new school. I said maybe we should get them both checked out more thoroughly. He said I was catastrophizing and that I needed to stop diagnosing our kids off the internet. We had a massive fight about it. I told him I didn't feel safe with the water. He told me I was turning into his mother, anxious about everything, controlling about food. That one stung, but I couldn't let it go. One morning, I turned on the kitchen tap and let it run before filling a glass. The first few seconds had this faint brownish tint. Not orange, not rust exactly, just off. I held the glass up to the window and my hands started shaking. I drove to the hardware store that afternoon and bought a water testing kit. Results came back in 48 hours. Lead, not trace amounts. Our water had lead levels 4 times above the EPA action limit. I called the county health department. They sent someone out the same week. The house had original lead service lines running from the street to our kitchen. The previous owners never disclosed it. The home inspector never tested the water. Every morning for 6 months, Nolan had been mixing those pancakes with water that was slowly poisoning our children. I got both boys tested immediately. Caleb's blood lead level was 7 micrograms per deciliter. Theo's was 11. The CDC says there is no safe level of lead in a child's blood. Anything above 3.5 triggers a public health response. The doctor told us Theo's concentration problems, his irritability, his emotional outbursts. Those weren't about adjusting to a new school. Those were neurological symptoms of lead exposure. Caleb's stomach aches weren't lactose intolerance. Lead causes abdominal cramping in young children almost identically. We're on a whole house filtration system now. The county is replacing the service line, but it takes months. Nolan hasn't made pancakes since. Not because I asked him to stop, because he can't stand in that kitchen without thinking about what he was stirring into that batter every single morning while telling me I was overreacting.